The revolution will not be capitalized. Why Black mothers are done apologizing for their softness. I want to tell you about someone who changed the way I think about justice, survival, and what it means to speak truth when the entire world is betting on your silence. Her name is Latoya Coleman. She's a Black mother, a warrior, a woman who was handed a life sentence while raising two young sons, caught in a system so broken it should terrify every single one of us. But here's what makes Latoya extraordinary. She didn't just survive the machine designed to crush her. She's dismantling it piece by piece with nothing but her voice and her refusal to be erased. Latoya Coleman is making this world more honest, more just, and infinitely braver simply by existing out loud. And today I'm here to share what she taught me because her story belongs to all of us. Let me start with something uncomfortable. We live in a country that plasters the word justice everywhere, on our currency, in our pledges, carved into the marble steps of courthouses, justice for all, innocent until proven guilty, the right to a fair trial. Beautiful words, inspiring words, words that feel like a sick joke when you're a Black woman standing in front of a system that was never designed to protect you. Latoya Coleman's story doesn't start with a crime. It starts with survival. She was a young mother trying to keep her head above water, trying to do right by her children, trying to stay out of trouble in a world that punishes Black women for simply existing. And then the Jessica Curran case happened, a murder, a tragedy. And suddenly, Latoya, along with Quincy Cross, Latoya Center, Venetia Stubblefield, and others, found themselves tangled in a web of lies, coercion, and institutional violence masquerading as law enforcement. Here's what you need to understand about Quincy Cross. In 2008, he was convicted of murdering Jessica Curran. He has maintained his innocence every single day since. And over the years, something remarkable and horrifying has happened. Witness after witness has come forward to recant their testimony, not quietly, not in whispers, out loud, on the record. They've said, we were coerced, we were threatened, we were told we'd lose our children if we didn't say what the prosecution needed us to say. Pause for a second. Let that land. Imagine being told, testify against this person, or we will take your children, testify, or you will go to jail. Testify, or your baby, the one you're carrying right now, will be born in a cell. That's not justice, that's state sanctioned terrorism. And that's exactly what happened to Latoya Center. Latoya Center was pregnant when law enforcement came for her, pregnant and scared and vulnerable in ways that only a mother can understand. And they knew it. They weaponized her love for her unborn child. They told her to change her testimony, to say things that weren't true, to implicate people she knew were innocent. And for years, she carried that weight, the weight of a lie, the weight of survival, the weight of a system that knew exactly how to break her. But here's the thing about Latoya Center. She didn't stay broken. Years later, despite the risk, despite the fear, despite knowing that speaking the truth could cost her everything, she came forward. She recanted. She said out loud, I was coerced. I was threatened. I lied because I was terrified. And in doing so, she became a beacon of hope for everyone trapped in that same nightmare. Then there's Venetia Stubblefield. Venetia took a plea deal, not because she was guilty, not because she committed a crime, but because she was terrified. She felt she had no choice. She thought if she didn't accept it, something worse would happen to her family. So she said what they wanted her to say. She implicated herself, she implicated others, and she lived with that lie for years, carrying a weight no human being should have to carry until she couldn't anymore. Venetia eventually recanted too. She told the truth. She said, I was scared. I was coerced. I lied. And her courage, combined with Latoya Center's courage, has been instrumental in the ongoing fight to overturn these wrongful convictions and expose the rot at the center of this case. But here's the question that haunts me. How many other Latoyas are out there right now? How many other Venetias? How many Black mothers are sitting in cells carrying the weight of coerced confessions, false testimonies, and a system that knew exactly how to exploit their fear? And more importantly, what are we going to do about it? Because this isn't just about one case, this is about a pattern, a system that preys on the most vulnerable, a system that knows Black women are often the sole providers, the caretakers, the glue holding entire families together, and uses that against them. A system that punishes softness, criminalizes vulnerability, and demands that Black women be superhuman or be destroyed. Latoya Coleman told me something during our conversation that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. She said that speaking her truth, even when the system tried to silence her, was an act of resistance, an act of empowerment. And she's absolutely right. When you've been told your entire life that your voice doesn't matter, that your pain doesn't count, that your story isn't worth telling, choosing to speak anyway is revolutionary. But here's what keeps me up at night. Latoya Coleman shouldn't have to be revolutionary just to be heard. None of these women should. The fact that it takes this much courage, this much risk, this much sacrifice just to tell the truth, that's the problem. And it's a problem we can fix. Let me tell you what I learned from Latoya Coleman and from the stories of Quincy Cross, Latoya Center, and Venetia Stubblefield. I learned that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to speak even when your voice is shaking. It's the decision to stand up even when the system is designed to keep you down. It's the decision to choose your truth over your survival, even when survival is all you've known. I learned that community support isn't optional, it's essential. No one should have to face the weight of the justice system alone. Advocacy groups, legal teams, family, friends, these networks of support are what keep people like Quincy Cross fighting for a retrial. They're what give people like Latoya Center the strength to recant false testimony. They're what remind people like Venetia Stubblefield that their truth matters, that their lives matter, that they are not disposable. And I learned that we have to demand accountability, not politely, not quietly, not when it's convenient, loudly, persistently, relentlessly, because the court system will not fix itself. It will not suddenly decide to stop coercing witnesses, stop threatening mothers, stop destroying Black families. We have to make it stop. We have to be the ones who say enough. We have to be the ones who show up, who speak up, who refuse to look away. So here's what I'm asking you to do starting today: educate yourself, learn about wrongful convictions, learn about the ways the system manipulates vulnerable people into false confessions and coerced testimony. Learn the names: Quincy Cross, Latoya Center, Venetia Stubblefield, Latoya Coleman. Say their names, share their stories, amplify their voices, support organizations that are fighting for justice reform. There are people on the ground right now doing the hard, unglamorous work of challenging wrongful convictions, supporting families, and demanding systemic change. Find them, fund them, join them, use your voice. If you have a platform, use it. If you have a social media account, use it. If you have a dinner table, use it. Talk about these stories. Make people uncomfortable, because comfort never changed anything. And if you're a Black woman listening to this, if you've ever been in survival mode, if you've ever felt like the world wanted you to be strong when all you wanted was to be soft, I need you to hear this clearly. Your softness is not weakness. Your need for rest is not laziness. Your desire for peace is not selfish. Your boundaries are not negotiable. Your healing is not optional. Your voice is not too loud. Your truth is not too much. You are allowed to put down the cape. You are allowed to say no without explanation. You are allowed to protect your peace without apology. You are allowed to be soft in a world that taught you survival. Because here's the truth that the system doesn't want you to know. The same system that failed Latoya Coleman is the same system that tells Black women we have to be superhuman, that we have to endure, that we have to sacrifice, that we have to be strong no matter the cost, that our pain is just part of the package, that our exhaustion is just the price of being Black and female in America. But strength without softness is just survival. And we weren't put on this earth just to survive. We were put here to thrive, to rest, to heal, to love, to be loved, to take up space, to demand better, to create beauty, to experience joy, to live fully, freely, unapologetically. Latoya Coleman's story is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, even when the system is designed to break you, you have the power to choose yourself, to choose your truth, to choose your healing, to choose your softness. And when we choose ourselves, when we choose each other, when we choose to demand better from the systems that are supposed to serve us, that's when real change happens. Not someday, not eventually, now. So let me be very clear about what I'm asking of you today. The next time you hear about a wrongful conviction, don't scroll past it. The next time you hear about a Black mother being coerced and threatened or silenced, don't look away. The next time you feel the urge to shrink, to stay quiet, to accept injustice because fighting feels too hard, remember Latoya Coleman. Remember Latoya Center. Remember Venetia Stubblefield. Remember Quincy Cross. Remember that speaking your truth is an act of resistance. Remember that community support can challenge even the most broken systems. Remember that demanding accountability is not just your right, it's your responsibility. Remember that your softness, your rest, your peace, they're not luxuries. They're necessities. They're the foundation of a life well lived. They're the antidote to a world that wants you in survival mode forever. Latoya Coleman is still fighting. Quincy Cross is still fighting. Latoya Center and Venetia Stubblefield are still fighting, and they need us to fight with them. Not someday, not when it's convenient. Now, because justice delayed is justice denied, and we've been denied long enough. Here's my challenge to you: pick one thing, one organization to support, one story to share, one conversation to start, one boundary to set, one moment of rest to claim, one act of softness to embrace, and then do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next, because that's how we change the world. Not with grand gestures, but with consistent, intentional, courageous action. That's how we honor the Latoya Colemans of the world. That's how we protect the next generation of Black mothers. That's how we build a justice system that actually delivers justice. That's how we create a world where Black women don't have to choose between survival and softness, between strength and rest, between speaking their truth and protecting their peace. And that's how we step into our soft girl era, not by abandoning the fight, but by fighting smarter, by protecting our peace while we dismantle the systems that threaten it, by being soft and strong, vulnerable and powerful, rested and revolutionary. Because we can be all of those things. We've always been all of those things. It's time the world caught up. The revolution will not be capitalized. It will not be monetized. It will not be sanitized for your comfort. It will be messy. It will be uncomfortable. It will be led by Black women who are done apologizing for taking up space, for demanding more, for choosing softness, for speaking truth, for refusing to be broken. Thank you, Latoya Coleman, for your courage. Thank you for your truth. Thank you for refusing to stay broken. Thank you for showing us what resistance looks like. Thank you for reminding us that our voices matter, that our stories matter, that we matter. And thank you to everyone listening for showing up today, for caring, for being willing to sit with discomfort, for being willing to do the work. Now go out there and make some noise, not because it's easy, not because it's comfortable, but because it's necessary. Because justice is not a gift, it's a demand. And we're done asking nicely. The revolution is here, And it's wearing soft pajamas, setting boundaries, taking naps, speaking truth, and refusing to apologize for any of it. Are you ready?